So in this video, we're going to be using Empire War Remake Mod to test if this Republic piece of information or propaganda, if it's true. It was said on the Wikipedia, I guess. Yeah, Wikipedia. Oh yes. It was said that the Mandator 2 could take down or could withstand the assault of up to 1,000 Recusant classes. 1,000. Now, when I first read that, I was like, okay, that's kind of BS. Come on, 1,000 ships. Nothing like the only ship that could probably handle that is probably like the Death Star. That's not even a ship; it's a sphere, right? Or yeah, it's more of a battle station, I guess, right? And I was thinking, okay, they probably just added an extra zero. The people at the I think it's called the Naxos Republic War College, just added slapped another zero, right? And we're gonna be using the mod to see if it can handle 100, because that's probably what it could handle. But in like actual realistics, I was thinking that it's probably gonna handle 20. That's what I'm thinking. 20 would be pretty good. 20 recusant against one little ship, right? I was thinking that's the more realistic approach to it, and we're gonna be implementing it in the mod by doing it basically in waves of 10, because I don't want to crash the game. This is gonna give it time to recharge its shields. taking down 20 Recusant classes was the final number, right? And for a standalone ship, just that ship is not that bad. It should have done worse, considering the fact that we gave it time to recharge its shield, right? And we didn't wait to 10. So that would not happen, right? But it also has some bonuses with it, right? It also did way better, it should have, because it doesn't have indestructible modules. It doesn't have an engine, doesn't have turrets you can target. It's just a model, right? A model with a health bar. So that's gonna, be an advantage, right? And I'm surprised that the fighters actually did that well. They served till the very end. It was, I think, like only like actually no, I think all 5 squadrons there were up and about, still fighting against by that point 30 vulture squads, which is like vulture droids, which is insane, right? But we can safely say that yeah, that's Republic propaganda. That's the myth proven false, considering that it's not even 100. It was not 1,000, not 100, but 20 recusants. Now, like obviously, you have the Recon information, making everything weaker than it should have been, right? But, you know, if it had a good support of Corellian frigates, Fenritors, and Acclimators, as a fleet, this would be Mandators would be very good. It would be a very good support ship. It could take down and damage the shields for everybody, and then everyone can swoop in, right? And it can also carry a good amount of fighters as well, right? And also in campaign setting, it would probably be worth it to get it and put it in with your big fleet. But I mean, you also have to account for that this is a mod, and I'm pretty sure it's much weaker than it is. It's portrayed as much weaker than what it should be. Really, it should have more guns and more advanced guns. I was reading from the Wikipedia. It said they had like way more advanced guns, like specially developed guns for it. If you carry like a crap ton of fighters, right? So and it's a mod too, so it has to make it smaller. I'm pretty sure it's smaller. Because I know in like I think like at war, part of the core is like pretty humongous. So, but like still, if this only took down 20, the Republic at War One or just in general could Republic at War One probably could take down like 30, 40 maybe, right? I don't know. It's kind of impossible to test it though, because I'm pretty sure it's only in campaign where you can grab it, and even then it's like a late game thing. It's like late tech, right? But still, right? And then in Legends, or I'm pretty sure, yeah, most of the information on its Legends, which is cringe, of course. All the cool stuff's in Legends, but regardless, right? You got a ship that's pretty like nerfed, I guess, in the game, but like either way, it wasn't gonna get like 1,000. Like I don't know where that number came from. That was just probably like crappy writing, because 100 of these ships is quite a lot. But still, again, 20 is a good number, right? And you have the losses right here, where it somehow took 7 of the squads, which is probably all of those are from the beginning. And also, I don't believe the Mandator has anti-fighter capabilities. I don't think those guns. I didn't really see any of those guns firing at fighters. So, like, sure, like in terms of fighters, we lost more, right? You got like, I don't know, 15 fighters against 7, but you have to account for the fact that they were outnumbered a majority of the time, right? They didn't really die until the end, and by the end they were fighting at least 20, right? And I guess that's also why you need the Corellian frigates, because and the other ships, because they have anti-fire or anti-fighter, firepower. So I think that's really a main thing. And with bombers, if these ships had bombers instead of just regular vulture droids, then it would also be like way way harder for the Mandator to even survive against each wave of. Um, but then also you would have the fighters actually doing the job more because it's just bombers. But still, like against one thing, which is what it said on its own it could challenge 1,000, right? So you gotta keep in mind that this is what they're saying, and it's been proven false.